To be honest, my first time here in Portugal, it's not exactly what I expected it to look like. Looks like whoever you colonized came back to find you. Portuguese were leaving and the Indians were like, we're coming with you. Who's going to open the door at the hotel? Me. Are there any white people? Jesus. Are you Portuguese, sir? Proper or Brazilian or Azores or just regular? Because I found out being here that there's levels to the Portuguese. Depending on where you're from, it's like when you say Brazilian to a Portuguese, go, no, I'm not. I'm from here. I've never seen somebody hate other people so much. What's your name? Hugo. You should pick a more Russian name next time. How do you spell it? With a J or some shit? With a silent H. But we've been saying Hugh. I don't know if you know how silent H's work there, Hugo, but silent H would just make you Hugo. And if you go, I go too. Good. And how you guys doing? You good? You guys together? I hope so, because you're wearing the same shirt. Did you plan that before you left the house? Were you like, sweetie, you know what we should do? We should dress the same. And she was like, you're going to look ridiculous in a salwar. Okay, how about these shirts? Perfect. That's your wife? Fiance, and that's your way of labeling her. When are you guys getting married? On 2 months. Excited? No, you hesitated. Did you see that? I go, you excited? Yeah. No problem, yeah. What's your name, buddy? What? Pratik? And your wife? 2B? Sorry? Mansi? Your parents Jamaican? Yeah, you see what the man see? I never see it either. Check with the man again. See if the man see it twice. Mansi and Pratik. That's good. Big wedding? What do you think? You gonna have a big wedding? How many people? 1,300? What the fuck are you doing? I'm famous and I don't know 1,300 people. How the fuck do you know 1,300 people? Why do you know 1,300 people? What, did you invite everybody on Facebook? If you like this picture, you can come to my wedding. You get a free cricket shirt with it. That's amazing. Where are you going to get married? Here in Mumbai? Nice. Where? Because I used to invite these people too. You know what I mean? What's another couple of thousand people? It's not going to make a difference at this point. Where are you getting married? The hotel near the airport? See how vague he's being now? He's like, hotel by the airport. Which one? No name. It's just a hotel. Wait, bastard, put the phone down. Oi! Come on. Punjabi guy holds up the phone. Always a Punjabi guy, starting trouble. What's your name, buddy? Aman? What's going on with the light? You got one job. It's just me up here. It's not, I don't have Beyonce and a bunch of dancers behind me. It's just me. You got one guy. I got to do this. Look. I'm not even moving a lot. I'm like in one place. I move, look, like this. And you're like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? One guy, just me. You're Polish, sweetheart? And your boyfriend's Indian? No? You're not Indian? Have you looked in the mirror? Have you? Look, I'm not an expert on the subject, but if I was to racially abuse you, what are you? South African. So Indian. Okay. When you're in South Africa, what do they call you? Oi, coolie, move it. Stinking coolies are walking around everywhere. What part of South Africa? Durban? Chatsworth? Cape Town. Okay, because you're fancy. So your family's Indian from South Africa? Yeah, all of a sudden, huh? I had to go through your lineage to get the answer? What am I, familytree.com? Get out of here with that. Black guy, where's your family from? Senegal. That's Africa. Do they have Indians in Senegal?
They've started coming in.
They started coming in. What are we, cockroaches, the way people describe us? I don't know. It used to be lovely, and then they started coming in and opened up the cereal one morning. There was a Indian in there. It was. You know that where is he? There he is. There's so many Indians, I couldn't even find you. You see what I mean? You know how that happened, right? You know how he's just as Indian as we are. But his forefathers, unlike my forefathers, his forefathers were not fast runners. You see, my forefathers saw the ships coming into the harbor and we went, I'm not getting on that boat. And his forefathers went, hey, look, a boat. They ended up in South Africa. Why am I cutting sugar cane? I'm diabetic. Well, good to have you here, Indian guy. By way of default. Indian parent, when they tell you, look, there's an Indian guy. Is that your wife, bro? Your girlfriend? Where were you born? In Oklahoma. Wow. And then your wife is Indian? And you guys met where? Oh, you were in India. Well, that's a good place to meet Indian girls. I'd say that. That's like, at least you got an Indian girl from India in India. Like, you didn't like, oh, I'm going to find one here. Did you mean to do that, or was it like an accident? Oh, you met in college. Where? Oh, so you went to school in India. Wait a second. You were born in Oklahoma, which is already f***ing crazy. That's like being Palestinian from Cleveland. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. You just got outdone for worst places to go to. How the f*** did your parents leave India and go, we're going to Oklahoma? Why? I loved that movie. Kind of makes you wish they liked the movie Grease, you know what I mean? Who knows where they would have gone at that point. So you were born and raised in Oklahoma? Oh, wait, so you were born in Oklahoma and then your parents went, this is you know what's better than this? India, we're going back. Round up the troops, let's go. That's crazy, dude. I've never met someone like that. So then you moved back to Bombay? And then, okay, so you've got a legit excuse. Fine.
And that's your husband, sweetheart? Boyfriend? Guy you're sleeping with? What the? You're Indian, yes, I see that. When you explained lid to me. He's Greek? He's your husband and he's Greek. Okay. And see, to me, this is what you're supposed to do in America. What you're doing is what you're supposed to do in America. When the Indian parents try to convince their kids to marry an Indian person out here, and you resist, you're like, but why? Why would I marry an Indian girl? And they'll do this. Son, what will happen to our people if we don't stick together? What will happen to our people? Let me tell you what will happen to our people. Nothing. There's 1.3 billion of them in India. If every Indian outside of India never married another Indian again, we would still have 1.3 billion of them. They don't need our numbers to add to theirs. Here's what Indian parents need to understand, is that the Chinese and the Indians will always, forever, 100% of the time be on this planet. There will never be a time where there's no Indians on this planet. Arabs, not so much, but we got numbers and you got Yehudis, so they're determined.
Like lie about it, And you'll know, like, it's funny, dudes, like, I don't believe you're white. Why don't you believe I'm white? Because your name's Gurpreet. I'm like a medium brown, Like when you're not white and you claim to be white, your extremities will go dark. That's how you know. Like I'm a medium brown. There's like darker brown than me. Like that guy, you're darker brown than me. And then there's like lighter brown than me. Somewhere in here. One of these are lighter brown, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm middle, I'm medium brown, And although I'm medium brown, like my junk, black as I'm literally showing. I'm like, whose is this? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm hung like a black guy. He's 3 years old, but that's not the point. The point is, he's a black guy, and that's... So the only true white people on this planet can be Americans, because they don't have a culture and they don't have a place. You know what you are, Killian, except for when you started adding shit just now. I asked a Russian guy, I said, are you white? He goes, yes. I go, no, you're not. What do you mean I'm not? I go, you can't be white. You have your own language, your own culture, your own food, your own country, a brand new country. You can't, these are not. Why isn't it funny when it happens to people that look like you? Hilarious when they look like me, right? No, you motherfuckers, you laugh. You laugh now. Yeah, white Americans are the only ones. Because they don't know what they are, When you ask an American, like, what they are, like a white American, they never know. They give you, like, a weird answer. They just start naming off things, like their favorite things, like their greatest hits or something. They just want to be so many things. You're like, what are you? Oh, my God, I'm such a mix. Oh. Where do I start? Let's see, I'm part German Shepherd, part... What else do I like? Guacamole. Has anybody here ever gone to Ancestry.com or 23andMe? You did it? Is that where you got your information from, Killian? Okay, so you went in. That's fine. So you did it. Which one did you do? Which one? Ancestry? Okay. Now, your whole life, you thought you were just German. Mom's German. Dad's German. Oma's German. And whatever the grandfather version is. I only know Oma from the hub because there's like the older. I never had to look for grandpa. You know what I mean? I don't know.